in the hole. Let's cook a burger. Stay tuned. Hello and welcome once again to my barbecue pit. Today we're going to make an epic burger, but first, got to cook up some bacon. Hear that bacon sizzling? Get that bacon cooked up. Get some fat rendered out. I'm going to use that fat to cook some veggies in. Oh yeah. Bacon for my burger. Alright, I know you could watch that all day, but stay tuned. Come back for the next part of this. Alright, the bacon's almost done. You can start getting it out of there. And what's more important is we have some rendered bacon fat that we can cook in. Gotta get these two pieces a little bit more done. Get that fat rendered out. Stay tuned. Okay, the bacon's cooked, so now we can start cooking some garlic, some onions, and some mushrooms. Because you know I love mushrooms. Hit that with a little bit of Lane SPG. Cooking it down in that bacon fat. Okay. Let me get my onions and mushrooms sauteed up. And we'll come back in that same frying pan. We'll make the cheese sauce. So stay tuned. Okay, the onions and mushrooms are done. We're going to drop in a half a stick of butter. Which is already softened. Put that in the pan. Get it melted up. Because we're going to make a roux. Got some flour, equal amount of flour. You want 1 to 1. When you make a roux, you want 1 to 1 of your fat and flour. Just going to get some flour in there. Stir that around. Stir your roux around. I'm not trying to make a dark roux. I'm not making a gumbo. This is for the cheese sauce. A little bit more flour. There we go. Okay. Let's thin that roux out with some beer. Got some Miller High Life. Drop some beer in there. Woo! Got a little flames going. Some beer. Oh, that smells good. And I've got some. I can't open it. Stop. Alright, a little more flour I think in that roux. A little more stirring. Super hot pan. A little bit more beer. I'm going to dump in some cheddar cheese. Shredded cheddar. And I also have some gruyere. I probably should have opened these up before I started cooking. Some gruyere cheese. Go in there. Get that stirred around. I think we need more beer, don't you? Hit it with some more beer for our beer cheese soup, a beer cheese sauce for my epic burger. Oh yeah. filling it everywhere. All right, throw in some more cheese, some more of that Gruyere cheese. In fact, all of it. Oh boy. That's going to be, this is going to be one floppy burger. Let me tell you what. Let's spin that out with a little bit of beer. You never want to use an IPA when you're cooking, and you never want to use cold beer. That beer is at room temperature. Okay, that's my cheese sauce for the burger. Let me get that off the fire, and we'll deal with these burgers. Stay tuned. I got here some wagyu ground beef that I get this at Aldi's, and whenever it's on sale at Aldi's, I buy as much as I can afford, and I freeze it for use other times, and it makes the best, absolutely the best burgers you've ever had. You got to try this. If you have an Aldi's near you, that's about a half a pound of beef right there. I'm going to season that up with some of that Lane's SPG, salt, pepper, and garlic. Get that mixed up and pattied up. I'm going to make a half-pound burger, which is a very hefty burger, let me tell you what. But that's okay, because we want a hefty burger. Because we're making this beer cheese bacon burger. So let me get that pattied up, seasoned up. I want to drop it down a little bit like that. That Wagyu beef is very, very tender and very fatty. It's very delicious. I'm going to get that on the grill on indirect heat and get that cooking. And then we'll come back and finish up this burger. So stay tuned. All right, my burger's clocking in at about 150. We're just going to slide them over onto the hot side there for a minute. Get a piece of cheese on him as if we didn't need more cheese. Get that melty up on him. And yeah, we're almost ready to build a burger. So stay tuned. All right, I'm ready to build my beer cheese bacon burger to a slightly too toasty bun. We're going to put some mustard, a little bit of yellow mustard, which is what I like on my burger, and a little bit of ketchup on there. Got that good ketchup pea on there. That's good stuff. Okay, let's get some, where's my tongs? Get some of those shrooms and onions on the bottom of that. On the bottom of that burger. Sauteed mushrooms and onions. Don't that look good? All right, let's get our burger on there. That's in my way. This is in my way. Everything's in my way. Let's get our burger on there. A Wagyu cheeseburger. As if we didn't have enough cheese already. Got those sauteed onions and mushrooms. Of course, we're going to put some bacon on top. A couple of slices of crispy bacon. Maybe a little too crispy, but that's bacon. Then we'll put some more mushrooms and onions on top of that, because I like them, mouth-watering. And on top of that, we'll come with that beer cheese, that melty beer cheese that's just about congealed now. Look at that. Oh boy, this is a mess. This is a mess right here, let me tell you. All right, let's get that on there. The cheese. Melty beer cheese. Boy, you talk about a cheese pull. Didn't come out exactly like I thought it would. And the cheese is starting to set up again already because it wasn't kept warm. But anyway, yeah, let's put the top on that. How does that look? Not too shabby. Let me get a picture for the YouTubes, and then I'll try and get some of this in my mouth. Stay tuned. All right, my burger is done. And here's today's beer. Here's the Frosty Root Boy mug. Here's today's beers. Another one of those Czech lagers that I got from that place. This is called Kral Czech lager. It's kind of light in the alcohol department. It's only 4.7, but if it's anything like that last one I had, it's going to be good. Original Czech lager. Only one way to find out. We got to pour it out and quaff the froth off of it, right? Let's get a good pour on this one. Czech lager. That's a pint bottle of Czech Kral, original Czech lager. Looks good, I guess. There it is, and I'm dry. Let's quaff the froth off of that. Man, that's very good. Very good. Let me turn the camera around, and I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I got to get some of this burger in my mouth, so stay tuned. Man, is it hot out here. I'm putting a napkin in my shirt because I know this is going to be a sloppy burger. I don't even know if I can get any of this in my mouth. Check that out. How's that look? Not too shabby, huh? Beer cheese bacon burger. I'll smush it down a bit. That's the best I can do. And I'll hold the plate under my chin as well, because you know it's going to be sloppy with all that stuff on it. Let me see if I can get a bite of that. Ah, baby, that's delicious. Let me get a swig of beer. Ah, what a burger. What an outstanding burger. Hey babies, you know what I always say? If you like this crap, please subscribe. If you don't, go up in the iCard right there. It says, look here. Look at my friend Rivet Gardner. He's knocking down the YouTubes lately. He's been making all kinds of cool stuff. Go check him out. That's one thing I always say. The other thing I always say is, come back next week. We may not cook anything good, but we will drink a beer. And this Czech lager, outstanding. See you next week, babies. Bye!